Hello and welcome to the Dinosaur Man podcast. I'm Andy Hughes and I'm here with my co-host of the co-host, the partly decomposed body of Alex Hudson.
This is the army of the dead.
Oh wow.
They're dead. The army of the dead.
Came out of the traps strong today.
That's been in my head ever since this movie was announced. It doesn't even share most of the same words.
It has the same syllables and that's all you need for comedy.
Is the same. Army? Nope.
Rhythm.
And dead?
Dancer.
Night. Rhythm is army of the dead. They are so much dead. Everyone is dead in here.
Welcome to the episode
Ain't no disappointments, only other appointments. Other appointments?
Welcome to the episode, which is going to be 2 hours.
Mainly karaoke.
2 hours of Alex just singing songs about dead people.
But only ones that say "of the" in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I know rhythm is a dancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just 4-word title songs. I guess I can't think of any more now. I don't want to force it because the first two are so funny.
But they say,
you know how they say comedy comes in threes?
Yeah.
Not today. Comes in twos.
And that's why there's just two of us on the podcast.
Yeah. We're so close to being funny, but we never achieve it. I suppose when we have guests, that technically means that we're funny.
I'm pretty sure that's the...
Funnier with guests or without guests? I feel like we're more restrained with guests.
You're on your best behaviour.
See recent Dinosaur Man 64 episode.
I think you're always
I was on my best behaviour, and then at the end I had to let it all out.
Yeah, when you talk about Pikmin fucking.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing an episode on gaming, and I'm supposed to not talk about Pikmin fucking? Hey, no Pikmin in this episode. Zombie fucking instead, which kind of actually happens in the movie, so...
They definitely wanted to show that, and then they decided... Somebody vetoed it.
I mean, look, guys, we're not going to spoil Army of the Dead. We've seen it, but we're going to review it next week's episode. But because of the recent release on Netflix, beautiful Netflix, our Lords and Overseers. Remember when it was Disney who were our Lords and Overseers, and now it's Netflix? Because of the release of Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, we decided we'd bring you a special episode this week because, you know, we had to fill time somehow. And that's kind of the attitude that I feel like Zack Snyder takes to directing sometimes. We have to fill time somehow. So,
hey, we'll get
probably they fuck.
We'll get on to the whole 2.5 hours of zombies of...
Yeah, that'll be next week. Don't worry,
Zombies
guys.
of the zombies.
Anyway, we thought what we would do is we would bring a special episode where we put together here, right now, for your viewing entertainment, our own Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
Yes.
I mean, not really. The thing is, who is the army? Is it the humans or is it the dead?
Hey, there can be one-man armies.
True.
Oh, I see. You mean, what's
is that an SAS quote or something?
Maybe.
Royal Marines.
But you're
I'm
asking
a one-man army, but I was raised in Newcastle.
You're asking the question, though, what's the army of the title?
Yeah, like, how do you view it? Do you view, like, Dave Bautista and chums as the army against the dead? Surely of the dead means it's the army of the dead.
Yeah, I think it's probably...
It belongs to the dead?
The zombies, because they have, like, a hierarchical system in this
and they actually have army people in it.
Yeah. So
as
I think
seen at the beginning.
But also you could read into it that maybe these people are going into an unwinnable situation and are technically dead already, dead on arrival.
Reminds me of another Zack Snyder movie. 300. Interesting. So, here's the rules.
Yes.
Together, we will come up with our own team to send into Las Vegas to retrieve $150 million or whatever.
So we're doing the same plot. So there's a safe in Las Vegas that has $500 million or something like that. Okay,
very different to the amount I thought it was. I thought it was 150.
I thought it was like... Oh no, I think it might actually be 300 million and they're offered 50 million.
300, like the movie?
And they're offered 50 million as a reward.
Okay.
To split amongst your people however you wish.
So anyway.
Same situation.
So we're sending people in. But we are only allowed to choose one character from every Zack Snyder directed feature film since, and not including, Dawn of the Dead, because that would be cheating because that is a zombie movie.
Ty Burrell, I'm sorry, you're not getting in.
So, it means we've got characters from 300.
Yes.
Sucker Punch.
Yes.
Watchmen.
Yes.
Batman vs. Superman.
Yep.
Man of Steel.
Yep.
And Justice League.
And Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Oh, yes, and Legends of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole. Now, I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to need your help in some of these bits, because I don't think I've ever seen Sucker Punch fully.
Okay.
I think I've seen bits of it and never really paid attention to it.
I watched it in a bath. I tell you this every time we talk about Sucker Punch.
That's fine. I'm 100% convinced I've never seen Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Nor have I.
We've seen the trailer, though.
Yep, that's all.
And I saw that there was a character name that I'm excited about.
Okay.
So, that's it. We get to pick one character from each of those movies to form our Army of the Dead.
We're sat in the Vegas sun.
Mm-hmm.
And
we've just been approached by Takahashi
Zack
or whatever
Snyder
his name is. Oh, okay.
Has come to us.
Oh, okay.
Separately, because we've got two different teams.
Wait, where is this?
In Las Vegas.
In real life, or is this in the video game? I mean, the movie.
So Las Vegas has been walled off because the zombies have overrun it.
Wait, Zack Snyder's now what?
Zack Snyder's come up to me and he's been like, "Hey,
You're mixing
Andy,
so many different worlds now."
Hey, Andy, there's £300 million in this safe.
Yeah.
I need you to go and...
You don't need that.
I don't know how I'm getting... Oh, no, that's fine. I realise that I haven't thought about this in the context of it being in this film. I just thought of it as, what is the best zombie killing team?
No, this is just like, this is the army...
Okay.
This is recasting the Army of the Dead with other Zack Snyder characters.
To get that money. Because that's the thing, you've got to get that money. And I was like, oh no. But
look, I'm going to tell you now, I literally don't care how skilled they are at any one thing. I don't want there to be a safecracker in there.
It's fine.
I just want... Look, this was what we call a throwaway episode.
I've worked
one
it
where
out.
I came up with the idea of this is what we're going to do, and then you were like, yeah, okay, and then I just didn't think about it since.
I've worked it out. Don't worry, I'm cool. So he's gone, you got to get this money. 50 million for you, and I'll be like, cool, I could do...
We're not in this, by the way. Me and you aren't in this.
I'm going in with my team.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm going in with my team.
Okay.
I thought that was the point.
No, it's you recast the thing, but just like it's characters from each of those movies.
My thought process has been, I'm going in with these guys, and I'm the best team to survive
this is just like, okay, recast it. Who's your team?
Okay, well, in my head, I'm going.
All right, so I just watch from the sidelines as you go in with the team.
You're there like a cheerleader. Hey.
Okay, whatever, man. Let's go for it.
Cool.
All right, let's start.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start at the very beginning. 300.
Okay.
We got some good options here because 300 had actual soldiers in it, but also against the soldiers were superhuman soldiers called Immortals.
Oh, yeah.
And also Xerxes was 9 foot tall. And also at one point there's like a big wolf.
Yes, and
that would be a good thing to take in with you.
And there's a rhino. An elephant.
Yeah. There's some sort of it's a problematic film. There's like, I looked at the cast list and there are some very weirdly described characters towards the end of that are just like,
Yep.
There's like a 14-year-old girl who's an oracle who I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder put in there because it was like, well, you know, this is what we do to these teenage girls here. We make them the thing that tells us all of the information for the plot.
Yeah.
And we maybe sexualize them, I think. I mean, Sucker Punch is coming up, so that kind of tracks. But you've also got, how could we forget, you've also got Messenger who gets kicked into pit.
Yes.
Important role. He's very good at falling, we know that. And saying that something is madness. Which, to be fair, the plot of Army of the Dead is also...
What you need is somebody to look at these zombies and go, this is madness!
So it depends. Do you want a cool line, or do you want someone who's actually capable in this situation? What do we want?
Okay, so, what did you go for?
We're discussing it now. We're coming up with a choice.
Oh, I've written my choice out.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly who I'm going for.
Oh, okay.
His name is Ephialtes. He is the hunchback.
Okay.
One specific reason.
Okay, tell us.
Army of the Dead shows us that these zombies know what a human looks like. If I need somebody for covert operations, why don't I send in somebody who, aesthetically, in the film, looks like a zombie?
Okay.
I can use him to kind of weave his way through.
Okay.
a bit Shaun of the Dead style, kind of like put on the zombie kind of.
Yeah.
Because the problem is,
You don't think these zombies are too smart?
No, in 300 he is damned.
I think they could smell that he's not a zombie, by the way.
I don't know. I feel like he looks like he doesn't smell very good.
Yeah, but like he might not smell like a zombie.
Because in 300 they're like damning of him, being like, "Oh, you can't raise a shield above your head. You are pointless." I'm here going, "You have worth."
Yeah.
In my world, you have worth because I need somebody who can weave and bob and
Okay.
kind of get your way through. And I think the zombies won't even recognize he isn't one of them.
Okay. I mean, that could be true, I guess.
So I feel if I want to go covert, like, you know, I could go for Leonidas. Mm-hmm. Like he is a man who is very strong.
He's got a good kick on him.
Good leadership. But why don't I go for something different?
Okay. So you think that this is going to be like a foolproof. So here's the interesting thing is one of your characters here looks like and sounds like or smells like a zombie, right?
Yeah.
As far as you're aware.
I've not been near a zombie before.
The others don't.
Okay.
So is this basically saying that Ephialtes is going to be the hero of the piece and the only one who survives the whole thing? Because the rest are kind of
Think about
waste?
it this way. We're sneaking in, right? We're going for the MGM Grand. And we've kind of snuck our way into Vegas and we see like a load of zombies. Ephialtes, straight through, weaves up to the other end of Vegas, sets off some kind of like grenade or bomb. All the zombies are like, there's stuff over there, runs that way. Clean path into the MGM Grand.
Okay.
Ephialtes comes back to us.
Good option. And I think he'd probably be fine with a machine gun. He could probably operate that, no problem.
It doesn't have to lift it above his head, so it's fine.
Well, yeah, he could just get all the crawling zombies. All the ones at his eye level or below. He could take on the tiger for sure.
And the thing is, he's also got a Spartan spirit. So he's got the spirits of the Spartans.
Okay.
Like, he's got the kind of personality of it, like a Leonidas. He just wants to be the best soldier he can be. So he's going to be willing
That
to...
film treats him like shit.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm treating him like a golden god.
Also, the thing about that film is that he says, "Oh, you can't raise the shield above your head, so you can't form part of the phalanx."
Yeah, we're not forming phalanxes.
Well, they only do it once in the movie for like 3 seconds.
And
like,
imagine how
he
weak...
could have had him there.
Imagine how weak that phalanx would have been if he was in there, though.
301 doesn't sound as good, though, does it? Okay, so we're taking in Ephialtes as our...
Unless you have another option.
No, I think this is fine. I think a covert sort of... I mean, I'm dubious about how well he smells like a zombie, but that's fine.
We'll do the Walking Dead thing where we, like, smother him in zombie guts or something.
Okay. Even though we could offer them up a sacrifice.
No, we're gonna...
No, we're not gonna...
We're gonna use Ephialtes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so then moving on, I think canonically, I guess, is it Sucker Punch or is it Watchmen?
Watchmen's
next. Okay. So I had a few different thoughts about Watchmen.
Okay, mine's an easy choice, so let's go with what your thoughts are.
Okay, so I'm 100% sure the baddie in Watchmen had a tiger.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so that's an option for tiger on tiger combat. I don't know what the tiger's name was, but whatever. Obviously Dr. Manhattan, because he'd freak them all out with his big blue dong. Or potentially Rorschach because of... they're stuck in here with me. And then like get him in a walled environment. We know that he can destroy people. And also, like, I think his mask might really confuse the zombies.
I don't know how many of them are actually smart.
Okay.
I think there's a few of them were just like, is lunch.
Okay. Now, do you not agree that zombie tiger versus non-zombie tiger action would be cool?
Would be cool. Question.
But I suppose we don't know beforehand that they've got a zombie tiger.
No, they find out when they get into the city.
Yeah.
Question. This isn't my choice either, by the way, but just as another option. Do they come with their equipment? If so, does Night Owl have his big floating thing that can set fire to everything?
No.
Flamethrower.
You're only allowed the equipment they have in this movie, in Army of the Dead, which is why Ephialtes has got a pistol.
Okay. Because I came up with two options.
Okay.
One of them you've mentioned, one of them you haven't.
Tiger.
Dr. Manhattan.
Big blue dong. Scary.
And I'm going to tell you now, Dr. Manhattan's the one I chose.
Yeah.
Because the rest of my choices all rely on me having a Dr. Manhattan.
Okay.
Because there is a scene in the film where he is in Vietnam and he literally evaporates people by just moving his hands.
Yeah.
Why do I need anything but a Dr. Manhattan?
Sure.
If he can just eviscerate them, how am I getting in the safe? Dr. Manhattan eviscerates the door. Like, he's reworking matter to his own ability. One problem with Dr. Manhattan. He doesn't care about the sake of humanity.
No. But does he care about $300 million or whatever?
I think...
Also, are we sure that his evaporation technique works on decayed matter?
It's just human matter, isn't it? Like...
It's kind of inhuman matter. Also, I've got some big issues with this film because I don't think it understands how zombies work, but it's fine. Okay,
There's a type of zombie in this film, by the way, that I found about after the film. I don't know whether I even noticed it in it.
Okay. We'll get to it later.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay, so we'll take Dr. Manhattan.
But yeah, so we get him on a good day. Like a day when he's like, oh, I'm going to help. And what we'll say to him is, you can send one of the clones of Dr. Manhattan, the ones that he has just wandering around. And in return, if you get us this and you help us clear out Vegas, we'll let you build your giant space clock in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, you could do
that. That'll just be what Vegas turns into.
It's your space clock. Whatever you were building up on Mars.
Keep a wall around it, though, because we don't want to fucking get involved in Manhattan shit.
You do what you want, Manhattan. Yeah. You've got to just come along and he'll be like, well, I suppose so. My other option was the comedian because he loves a flamethrower.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he'd do well. I think he'd enjoy battling zombies more.
He'd take glee in it.
He'd have more fun, for sure.
But also, I kind of want the guy who can basically...
Well, this is the thing, is that Dr. Manhattan now feels kind of like a cheat answer because he is capable of destroying people with just a move of his hand. But maybe his clones are pared down versions of him where he can't do that. And he can just, like, he gives them all limps.
I suppose there's a reason I'll come on to later. That maybe I'll take the comedian over him, but we'll decide that.
Okay. Now, Sucker Punch. I've got a theory here.
Yeah.
None of Sucker Punch is real apart from the doctors, right?
Yeah, kind of.
So I think I have to choose Oscar Isaac. I think he's the only one who's real. Kind
of. But I suppose if you take the film as it is, I would say you can take other bits. Because there are elements that are real, but in the end everyone's lobotomized or something like that. That's the thing.
No good to me. They're basically zombies now.
So, once again, you've got one of two choices here, I feel.
Yeah.
Firstly,
Oscar Isaac.
Giant robot samurai.
Okay. I don't remember that character.
It is...
Oh, wait, no, I do, because you showed me a clip of it now.
Yeah, it's in the first kind of dream thing.
Yeah, it's a boss battle.
Fights, two giant samurai, I think.
Yes.
But giant robot samurai. Robots can't be turned.
Uh-huh. How big is it?
Giant.
Like 20 feet, 30 feet?
Yeah, sure. Like,
okay. Yeah.
Big boy. Like a Dark Souls boss.
Yeah. I kind of wonder, like... I think that would be good against the zombies that are slow-moving, because...
Yeah.
You could just, like...
Could be overwhelmed is the problem.
Could it?
What if a lot of them climb World War Z style?
Yeah, but, like, these zombies aren't that clever.
Yeah. But what if there is one clever one who can reprogram our robot?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, who's controlling that robot? Do I trust...
Well, could it be another clone of Dr. Manhattan? Now, these robot samurais, do they have, like, a pilot in them, sort of Pacific Rim style?
No, just robots by looks.
Remotely controlled.
They got a big sword, though.
But, of course, they're not even remotely controlled in Sucker Punch, are they? Because they're part of her imagination.
Yeah, they're just robots.
What if the zombies realise they're only part of her imagination?
I suppose that's the problem, and then he just disappears.
What if the zombie just goes... No, this is just part of Emily Browning's imagination.
That's why my second choice was Emily Browning herself, her character of Baby Doll. Because
I thought you were just going to say her as Emily Browning.
Her power, obviously, her secret power is she's got super dreams,
Yeah.
But her real power
Yeah.
is she dances and everyone gets fascinated by her.
Okay, so she's a distraction technique. Does that work on zombies, though?
We'll find out.
Okay. I mean, I feel like we have just found our sacrifice.
Like, so in the film, she dances and like everyone's like, oh, wow, she's such an amazing dancer.
Yeah.
And then like when she's dancing, that's when the dreams kind of happen and it changes like everything. So we can try it.
I guess that's more interesting. Because I kind of feel like Dr. Manhattan is our giant robot samurai.
Yeah, like Dr. Manhattan will let her do her dance.
He's got the destruction side of things. Mm-hmm. So why don't we have destruction and distraction?
I've got covert operations, destruction and distraction.
This kind of works pretty well. This is a real
well-rounded
team.
I'm building what you call a team.
Okay, so we're going to go with Emily Browning as, what's her name?
Baby doll.
Baby doll. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be that? Good film, probably. Okay, so moving on. Next up, we've got Owls of Gahul.
I think it's Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Gahul.
Okay, there were two characters in this that I like the name of.
Actually, Owls of Gahul came before Sucker Punch.
Oh, God, we've ruined everything. Okay, so there were two characters I like the name of in here.
Okay.
One of them was, I'm pretty sure his name is Metalbeak. He's voiced by Joel Edgerton. The other one that I actually think we should go for, though, and I have no idea what she looks like, is Mrs. Pletivier. Played by Miriam Margolyes.
I suppose it has the voice of Miriam Margolyes, so why would you not want it?
I guess that she is kindly old owl who is... I mean, I think she's got working class toughness, despite being named after a French town.
Okay.
I don't know what she does in the movie.
I went for, I wrote down Soren, who is the lead.
Okay.
Played by Jim Burgess. Purely because I watched the trailer and he is plucky, he has courage, and he is a future Owl of Gahul, Legend of the Guardian.
Okay.
So I think that gives him special owl powers.
Yeah.
I think he could screech for long periods of time.
Okay. I mean, you sure you don't want Metalbeak?
I suppose we want one that's definitely an owl.
I think they're all owls.
What we don't want is...
Aren't they all owls?
I think there's a couple of characters that aren't owls.
It's called the Owls of Gahul.
So we want an Owl of Gahul for basically sentry duty.
Yeah.
Because we want...
to do reconnaissance.
That neck movement.
That neck movement. Wow.
Like...
Yeah.
He's going to see what's coming before it hits us.
Sure.
So like,
also he's flying in the air.
It's like, zombie behind us. It's like, oh, I trust that owl. Manhattan, sort that out.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you now, you can't have Soren.
Why?
Screeches for ages. It's just going to alert them to your presence.
Yeah.
Metalbeak, old silent Metalbeak we call him, and Mrs. Petivier never said a word in her life.
Right, I'm going to search Metalbeak. Basically, if he is not an owl...
He's called Metalbeak. He better be an owl.
Metalbeak. Owls of... That's not how you spell anything. Gahul. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, okay, Metalbeak has, by looks of things, one glassy eye and a metal helmet.
Yeah, we're taking him.
We're taking Metalbeak.
He's built for war.
He looks like he should be some kind of Iron Maiden album cover. I think he's the bad guy, though.
Yes, because famously they put owls on their album covers.
What was the other one called?
Mrs. Petivier or something.
Mrs. Petiv. Because my worry about Metalbeak is this Plivier?
Yeah, there we go.
Is a snake.
Plithiver, it might be. It's a snake. That's not what I expected it to look like. Okay, we got to take Metalbeak.
My worry about Metalbeak is he's the villain, but I suppose she's a blind snake as well. Like
no good to anyone.
No, it's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're taking Metalbeak because, like, you can't have unlikable protagonists. Army of the Dead certainly tries to.
I suppose he's fighting for the good.
Is he? Well, he's only in it for the money. He's a mercenary. That's what we like. That's what we love about Owls of Gahul. They're all mercenaries.
Okay. What would be your offer to Metalbeak to get him on side?
Free because obviously mice? Do they eat mice?
Manhattan's getting his space clock.
Yeah, 100 mice. Fine. Okay, we grant him dominion over all owls.
Right, so Ephialtes gets...
He doesn't know that that's not within our remit.
Ephialtes gets the prize of being involved.
Mm-hmm. We make him the honorary 301 Spartan. We change all the DVD titles to 301.
Dr. Manhattan gets his space clock, but in Vegas.
Yeah.
Emily Browning doesn't get lobotomized.
Yes. Wow, what kind people we are. So, and Metal Beat gets dominion over all owls.
Over all of Vegas owls. Like,
okay, well, yeah, we'll keep it that specific because there's no owls left in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. So, moving on.
Can he turn his head while wearing that metal thing?
We're into we're into the back end now, the trilogy of superhero movies.
Yes.
So, obviously, there's a lot of returning characters who are consistent throughout the three Superman, Man of Steel, and what am I thinking of? Dawn of Justice, and then Batman. What's the other one called? Justice League.
Yeah.
So there's returning characters in all three of those. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of returning characters in the last two. But do you want to try and choose someone who's only in the first movie?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that Scoot McNairy was in it, and
he's
I didn't... in
Batman v Superman.
Oh, is he in Batman v Superman? Is that the one he's in? Okay, so who's in Man of Steel who we can select?
So, the obvious answer is Superman.
Yeah, obviously.
The obvious answer. But I decided not to go.
Well, we've already got Dr. Manhattan. I feel like we've kind of already got a Superman.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's a thing that I ignore here.
I've got a theory of who we should take, but
I've got a problem, but I ignore in this choice, so I'm going to bring it up later, and we're going to ignore that I ever bring this up as a problem.
Okay.
So, I had two choices.
Mm-hmm.
You go Jor-El, because he is...
That's Russell Crowe.
This is Russell Crowe, who is a scientist.
Yep.
He's also basically Superman. If he came to Earth, he'd have all the same powers.
Like a slightly more out of shape Superman, yeah.
And he's, I think he is a smarter version of Superman than Superman is in that film.
Sure.
Alternatively, you go General Zod.
Okay.
Who is,
neither of my options.
Once again, is Superman, but he is a warlord tactician.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
What we would offer them, I don't know, because Zod really just wants to terraform Earth, and I don't think we can go with that.
Yeah, what's Jor-El's thing?
I don't know.
He's probably a safer bet.
He's very wise, isn't he?
Do you want to know my theory?
Yes.
I think we should bring Lois Lane herself.
Okay.
So she can document the process and win another Pulitzer.
I like it. What is she giving us
in there?
Yeah. Or is it just somebody who we have to protect?
She's giving us 5-minute interviews each.
Okay.
Just to get some pull quotes for the article. I mean, would she be useful? No. Would you want people to know that you've done this? Because think about it. The whole issue is, the whole setup of Army of the Dead is that these are forgotten heroes of the zombie killing. And wouldn't it be nice if we could document it so people knew their names?
What about Christopher Maloney's character?
Okay, the colonel?
Military man. Maybe fly a helicopter for us to get out.
Yeah.
Because currently our escape plan is Dr. Manhattan picks us all up and flies us out.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's right. So we're going with Colonel Nathan Hardy.
I'm just assuming he can fly a helicopter?
Yeah, probably. I mean, unless I can find someone who just says helicopter pilot, in which case we definitely take them.
If we've got military on side as well, there's no problem with us just flying the helicopter in there.
Ah, okay, even better.
Yeah.
I think we should take... the character's name is... Carvex.
Okay.
Played by Samantha Wynn, who is also in Army of the Dead.
You found my choice for Justice League.
Is she also in Army of the Dead? She's just someone who he uses every time, yeah?
She's been in so much.
I'm guessing she's a Amazonian? Yes, because she's also in Wonder... Oh, no, hang on.
She plays
a different character in Wonder Woman than she does in...
She plays Euboea in Justice League.
So I'm guessing she plays an Amazonian in those films, but a Kryptonian in...
Yeah. She's a stunt performer. And by looks of things has worked with Snyder a lot.
Yes. Okay, either that or we go for Julian Richings, who played Death in Supernatural, of course.
Who is another Kryptonian.
Perfect. Lore M.
He is the head of the Kryptonian
Council.
Hey,
a wise head. I think we should probably go for Russell Crowe, though.
Yeah, and maybe we sell it as,
we're going big names here.
You're saving...
Effie Altus, Julian Richings. Oh, wait, no.
How do we sell it to Crowe? We basically look, if you save Earth, we'll give you the moon.
Yeah.
And Krypton can be reborn in the moon. And you can bring all your
Would that
people
fuck up the tide somehow? I feel like it would.
Only if you remove the moon. The fact that we build stuff on Earth doesn't make the moon move. Welcome to science class with Andy.
The fact that we build stuff on Earth doesn't make the moon move. It's true.
And we'll be like, look, there's a dark side of the moon, and we have no idea what's happening over there.
Well, we've got some idea because
and he'll go, dark side.
Because Roger Waters decided to tell us. Okay, so we're gonna go with Jor-El
because he's a scientist,
and he sounds a bit like a condom brand.
And he's smart, and he might have ideas that we haven't thought up with our tiny.
And he won't try and terraform the planet.
Also, it'd be interesting to have him having a conversation with Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. Okay. Right, so that's our Man of Steel pick. So, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Is this where you've got Samantha Wynn, then?
No.
Or did you say she was Justice League's pick?
She's Justice League, but I've got a couple of others for Justice League as well.
Okay.
You've already mentioned my pick here.
Oh.
So, once again...
Amy Adams.
Once again, we could have gone for Superman.
Yeah.
Because he's a good guy, and he's got laser eyes. I decided to go for, what if we get surrounded?
Yeah.
And we need a way of getting out quickly. But we also need to kind of... in most zombie films, there's a moment where somebody gets overwhelmed and they have one last gasp moment to kind of I'll clear a whole load of zombies out of the way while you escape.
Yeah.
I think we need that. You need to have a plan B. So I have Scoot McNairy in his exploding wheelchair.
Oh, is that who he plays?
Yes.
Okay.
The exploding wheelchair that takes out everyone in the trial.
Okay. I mean, an exploding wheelchair he knows very little about.
Oh, yeah. He still knows nothing about it. But we do.
Okay, so in our world, Jesse Eisenberg also exists but stays on the outside of the wall.
I'd had a conversation with Luther.
Okay. All right, so Scoot McNairy as whatever his character's name is.
Hold on, I think I wrote it down. His character is called Wallace Keefe.
Okay, Wallace Keefe is our... Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess that kind of...
Disgruntled former Wayne Tech employee.
Yeah.
Given a wheelchair. And we're like, hey, we need you for your admin skills, that your HR skills from Wayne Enterprises. He's like, oh great, I'll HR the shit out of this.
Yeah.
And then he drives in behind us, and then when we get overwhelmed, I'm like, Effie Otis, just wheel him out into them. And he kind of does it, and then
okay, sounds good.
I mean, we could take him off the wheelchair before we did it.
Yeah.
But also, he had a role, and somebody had... one of the team has to die. It's zombie law.
Yeah. 100%.
Zombie law says most of them have to die, but we're going to go for one. Maybe Baby Doll if...
Now, one thing I couldn't find out was whether Hanukkah, Oh Hanukkah, A Magical Time of Year was a feature-length film, or if that was just a short thing. I think it's only a short. So we can't... Unfortunately, that isn't eligible, so we can't take Ezra Miller from there. But what we can do is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
So, hold on, are you agreeing Scoot McNairy is...
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good plan to me.
Obviously, we
need something that's got a little bit of oomph to it.
We sell it to him by saying gainful employment, because he's unemployed, if I remember rightly.
Yes, and that was his whole thing, was he was unemployed, and therefore he was upset about that. I mean, he'll be dead... But he doesn't need to know that.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know about the wheelchair.
And presumably he's got a family that he's trying to provide for.
Also...
and we'll send them some money.
So we know that Jor-El is a kind-hearted soul.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't go along with this idea. But
he wouldn't need to know.
The extended edition of Batman vs. Superman claims
extension of this movie that we're going to make.
Claims the wheelchair is lead-lined, and that's why Superman didn't know about the bomb in it. Jor-El also can't see through the lead.
Is this true?
Apparently so. And
hang on.
Jor-El...
Is that part of Superman? You can't see through lead?
He can't see through lead, yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
It's so that people can hide kryptonite in lead boxes.
Okay.
I'm sure
it's not because, like, lead is part kryptonite or something.
I'm
like
sure there's an
Earth's
actual
version of
reason
kryptonite.
for it, but it's basically... It means that they can keep hiding stuff in lead boxes.
Because he's got X-ray vision.
Yeah. So yeah, Jor-El won't be able to... Dr. Manhattan could probably know, because he could probably just feel it in the vibes of the wheelchair. But he don't care. He knows what he's there for.
Doesn't care about humanity.
Like,
Okay.
If the bomb doesn't kill him, Dr. Manhattan probably will.
Okay. So, Justice League.
Yes.
And we'll go with Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, sorry, Russian family, we're not choosing you.
You told me I'm not allowed to have a pick from Justice League and a pick from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Because I don't care, they're still both his film.
So, obviously, we know that one of your picks is the Amazonian warrior.
It was going to be Yuboa, but actually, I don't know.
I think the thing is, it's a nice nod to the fact that she's also in Army of the Dead.
Would purely be the only reason I'm picking her.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, we need to find out if Julian Richings is in this, just to see if we can get him in the film somehow.
Julian Richings?
Yeah, in Justice League. He plays Death in Supernatural. He's the leader of the council on Earth, or whatever.
Just mentioned.
Yeah. Every time I mention him, I talk about the fact that he was in Supernatural as Death.
He's a Kryptonian. He's not on Earth.
Okay, cool, whatever. Can we have him still, please?
Who
Fine, Martian Manhunter, obviously. The best version of that character. I mean, look, Martian Manhunter is basically Dr. Manhattan, so we don't need him.
No.
Again, too many of these characters are just too similar to Martian Manhunter. To Dr. Manhattan.
I got two choices for you. Okay?
Because I've got one choice.
Okay.
Other than Martian Manhunter.
Who's your choice?
The cop that gets coffee from Lois Lane.
He's a cop.
Yeah, so he knows how to handle a gun.
Understands the law.
Understands the law.
Might not be happy about the whole Scoot McNairy situation.
Well, he might be a criminal.
Oh.
He's unemployed, but we don't know what he's done.
Crooked cop.
He might have been fired. No. Wait, whoa. No, the cop is a good guy. Played by original Jimmy Olsen, maybe, I think. Is that right? I think so. He was played by, like, one of the guys from the original movies. Anyway, I think him because, number one, he's got a supply of donuts and coffee, which will be handy because we haven't really talked about, if we get stuck in here, how are we going to survive?
Banquet hall.
Yeah, but, like, this is years after the event, isn't it?
That food stays.
Okay, so we get frozen shrimp.
So many frozen shrimpies.
Okay, who's your options?
So, two choices again, really, because I'll take you both. Firstly, is how much distraction do we need? I understand we've got Baby
We've already
Doll,
got Emily Browning.
but what if we
The most distracting thing in the world.
Is it? Because what if we had an entire Icelandic choir?
Okay, well, I'm going to make you pick one of the Icelandic choir then.
You spread them out across the city in different hotels. Confuses the hell out of the zombies.
I did think about Aquaman for a bit, and then I thought he's only going to really be restricted to the fountains outside the hotels.
And
I think all of that water has evaporated by this point.
Right, I did think Aquaman. So people are going to be listening to this and be like, well, your obvious answers are your superheroes. Where's Superman? Where's your... Like, you could have had Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash...
Boring!
There's a reason why not. So my second choice is Batman.
Yeah.
And I'm very clear about picking Batman over any of the others.
Because he's just a guy.
He's a very smart guy. He could probably think of something that would be able to kind of like take out huge numbers at once. He has a Batmobile. Although you said...
I'm telling you now, I've just realised my option. But yeah, go ahead.
The problem is, and this is a problem that I came up with very early on, that I'm not picking Superman or Wonder Woman or anything like that. What if they get bitten? I don't want to deal with zombie Superman.
Sure.
I don't know whether his physiology would make him become zombified, but
we can't take that risk.
Zombie Superman would be
if there's
horrible.
even a 1% chance that he might turn into a zombie.
Batman turns into a zombie, that's fine.
He's just a big zombie.
He's just a guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a guy. Like, he loses all his ability to kind of fight and stuff like that. Like, although one of the zombies can fight. But, like, you know, he loses his, like, intelligence and things like that. We could just one-shot the head of Batman, you know, make him take the cowl off because I think it's bulletproof, and then pop straight into Batman's head.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. And I was like, I don't want to deal with zombie Wonder Woman. I don't want to deal with zombie Flash because these zombies can run. So the last thing I want is super fast zombie. Dr. Manhattan, he would never stand on the floor anyway.
No, he's floating around.
Like, he doesn't care about these guys.
Yeah.
Jor-El, hopefully he doesn't get bitten.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was my wrinkle.
Well, hang on. Didn't we go with Christopher Maloney in the end?
Oh, yeah.
No. We did go with Jor-El, actually, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
But maybe we're just like, just hover, please.
Well, here's my alternate choice instead of Batman. We need a pilot still, technically. Alfred. We've seen him pilot the Batwing.
Yes.
We've seen him pilot maybe a helicopter as well at one point. So we take him in. He's, like, in good enough shape that he can take care... Like, he's not frail, but he is still Jeremy Irons. So if he turns, you've only got to deal with Jeremy Irons. I think that's a good option.
Yes.
Because I think he gives you the opportunity to... He's smart enough to be able to fix a helicopter or whatever.
Hands-on, yes.
And, yeah, because we even see him working on, like, machinery and stuff. So I think he might be the option.
When we get to the Batwing or whatever it is that we're getting out of the city on, be a nice cup of tea waiting.
He'd know how to make a good cup of tea.
And this is the problem with America. Like, nobody makes a good cup of tea.
This is the problem with America.
One problem
the only problem that America has is this.
Although
So
in Vegas, I had iced tea for the first time, and it was lovely.
I'm baffled that you'd never had it by that point.
I've never had it.
Okay.
And I remember them
Where
being
did you
like,
have it?
It was so when I
Was it in one of the casinos?
Yeah, I split off from you guys as you went off to like the chapels, and I went to go get my tickets for a show. And then I got lost inside one of the casinos because it was huge.
Yeah.
And as I was walking around, I just bumbled into a Starbucks. Like, just happened to walk through one. And I was like, it's very warm. I'll have an iced tea.
Okay.
That seems like a good idea.
Never quenches your thirst as much as you want it to, I feel.
No, and it tastes weird. Like, because I'm so used to hot tea.
Yeah.
How are we getting Alfred on side, though?
How are we getting him on side? Retirement plan. We know that Bruce Wayne doesn't respect him enough to pay him.
Also, yeah, he's a butler. He's going to have a wage.
Yeah.
Like, he's not there just for the fun of it. Sure, it probably is by now.
But, like, we'll give him enough so that he can just quit now.
But is he in that job because he now just cares about Bruce?
No, that was Michael Caine. Michael Caine said, I would never leave you, Master Wayne, remember?
Jeremy Irons is very much like, I'm in it for the paycheck.
Yeah, I get a feeling that if Jeremy Irons could, he would retire from that shit. So I think if we say to him, you get 500 grand for doing this, he'd be like, that's enough for me to retire in Florida.
We'll buy him the house in Florida.
We'll get him a house in Margaritaville.
Dr. Manhattan, build a house in Florida for us. Yeah, build it out of the swamps and gators.
Yeah, sure. And I think we could get him on side just by saying, like, here's a nice little nest egg for you to retire on.
Yeah.
He's 70 something at that point. He just wants to get out of the game. Fair enough. I would too. So yeah, one last paycheck.
Absolutely, like that's the best. I didn't even think about Alfred.
It's a good option.
It's a good option, and it gives
obviously sad for the cop. He can't come.
Yeah, and it's sad for the Icelandic choir because they've been practicing their zombie luring chants.
Okay, so to summarise, because I think we've got ourselves a good team here.
Yeah, I told you it all hinges on us having a Dr. Manhattan.
To summarise, I mean, I don't feel like it. Like, I think you could not choose him, and you could still get around it.
Yeah.
You just have to maybe be a bit more destructive with your picks elsewhere. Like, you might have to go for a General Zod or, like... But obviously the terraforming's the issue there. Anyway.
Yeah, and the last thing we want is to agree that terraforming can happen on Earth. Like, we have an anti-terraforming podcast.
Is that it?
That's the stance we're taking.
Okay.
I don't think we've said it before. We are.
No, I don't think we ever have.
We are anti-terraforming and we are anti-zombie Thatcher.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this is the closest we might get to that. So, let's just summarise then. So, from 300, we have Effie Altus.
Yep.
For covertness.
Yep.
From Watchmen, we have Dr. Manhattan for confusing Big Blue Dong and also the ability to destroy all of the zombies
and pretty
instantly.
much everything. We have Dr. Manhattan for doing the job. He's going to get us into the safe. He's going to clear the zombies. He's going to basically do most of the stuff. But as a society, we also need to agree that Vegas is now a giant space clock.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's the trade-off we make. But I think Vegas can live with that. We'll
I'd like to see somebody
Reno.
stop him from building it.
From Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, we have Metalbeak for reconnaissance and the ability to turn his head around. And also to grant dominion to him over all owls.
In Vegas.
Sucker Punch, we have Baby Doll.
Yep.
Emily Browning to distract people with her dancing.
Might work.
Not sure if zombies still retain that cognizance to be able to be distracted.
Only one way to find out.
Man of Steel, we have Jor-El.
Yes.
Because he's like a worse Superman.
For science. For
but
smarts.
and a better Superman. Mm-hmm. But also less in shape, so he might be able to do less damage to us. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. We have Wallace Keefe and his exploding wheelchair.
It sounds like a comic book.
And finally, from Zack Snyder's Justice League, we have Alfred, who we could have chosen from Batman vs Superman, but Wallace Keefe was more important because of the moment when you think all is lost and then they decide to blow up.
I've seen enough of these films to know that there's a point we become overwhelmed.
He's got to be surrounded by like 400 zombies all climbing on top of him. He's like, go, just go.
And I was planning to.
Yeah, we don't care about you. You were here for this reason alone.
Like, Dr. Manhattan, you could clear.
But hang on, he doesn't know that there's an exploding wheelchair, does he? So he wouldn't even be like, go, just go. He'd be like, come back for me, you're leaving me. And then just Dr. Manhattan just gets out a little and then Wallace Keefe is no more.
Because like it'll be a point where Dr. Manhattan, I don't know, he'd found about the frozen shrimpies and he was having himself little, like he'd warmed them up and he'd cooking shrimpies. He'd got his little chef hat that he'd created
little
from
blue
matter.
chef hat.
He still had his dong out because
he's covered up the top of his head but not his penis.
He's got an apron that goes down to his midriff. And he's going up the shrimpies and all of a sudden like a load of zombies come in. He's like, I ain't leaving these shrimpies. And we're like, I'm sorry, Scoot, your time is now. And he's like, what does that mean?
I think we've got ourselves a good team.
Yeah, and then Alfred will be up on the roof.
I think you can hit all the key moments you want to hit in a zombie movie. You've got inspirational speeches. You've got maybe less inspirational speeches from Dr. Manhattan because the only speech
I care little about the sake of humanity.
But I think you've got a bunch of a ragtag group of unlikely heroes, mainly for Effie Altus. I feel like he's the unlikeliest of heroes.
Oh, he's the glue that keeps us together.
Oh right, he's the human spirit.
We just want him to have a good time. Like we heard. On the flight over, we hear a lot about what Leonidas did to him and the way he was treated by the Spartans.
Yeah, he won't shut up about it, in fact.
We all feel for him and we all feel sorry for him. That we kind of just want him to kind of have his hero moment. And there's going to be a moment where, even though we could do it without him having to do it, we're going to be like, lift that shield above your head, Effie Altus. This is the moment.
Yeah, we give him a shield, and then when he can't lift it, we go, what the fuck do we bring you for? The big question,
he has to press like the highest button on the elevator or something, and we're like, this is your moment.
Zombies running towards the elevator.
And like he lifts it, and he's trying to press it, and then like Jor-El just like picks him up so he can reach it.
So, the big question to finish on. Can this team get it done in less than 2.5 hours?
Easily. I could just send Dr. Manhattan in to do it on his own. He'll come back. He's like, I just absorbed myself through the safe door, grabbed all the money and came back. And I'm like, cool, but we gotta do it for Effie Altus.
So,
my big question for you is, obviously you said you were going to wait outside.
Yeah.
Now I've told you that there are frozen shrimpies being cooked up.
I'm staying in there.
You're not coming out. The rest of us are leaving. You're there.
I'm not getting on that plane.
You're like, leave me. He's like, there's no zombies. And you're like, leave me, don't worry.
Yeah, if I can get a free Vegas buffet, I'm taking it. whole lobsters just being yammed down.
Absolutely. That lobster's been there for some amount of time in that hot tray. Nobody knows how long.
Rancid lobster.
Here is some brown chicken. We're not sure what the sauce is, but it keeps coming out of the kitchen.
We'll call it blood sauce.
We're just pouring the newly cooked stuff into the old stuff that's already in the tray. Vegas buffet, baby.
So that's our team. If you have an alternative to our team,
I can't see how they would.
Using only our parameters,
Yeah,
and not using any different picks, actually, just use our picks. Just send us your own picks, but make sure they're ours. We chose the right team. Anyone you choose now is wrong.
You can pick anyone, but you have to keep Scootin' McNairy.
Yeah, 100%. And Effie Altus.
Yeah, because it's all for him. And that's what we need to remember, guys. That this entire thing was for Effie Altus.
So that's it for this week. We will be back next week with news and reviews where we will be talking about Army of the Dead, amongst other things. But that's when we'll be reviewing it. As always, you can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. On Twitter, we're at DinosaurMan15. Everywhere else, just Dinosaur Man or Dinosaur Man Podcast. Find us wherever you get podcasts from. You're listening to us now, so we'll presume we've done that already. Leave us a review if you haven't. And in that review, make reference to Scoot McNairy's exploding wheelchair.
And we'll read it out on the podcast.
That's like a fun thing for next week.
On Twitch at Dinosaur Man Pod. I will Twitch at some point.
And Johnny Neves did the theme song. This time it was The Army of the Dead. Andy, you've hosted.
Alex, you've also hosted.
And we've had fun today, if not, if nothing else.
And guys, until next time, don't tell McNairy. He cannot know. Also, don't tell Jor-El because he'll feel really bad about us.
See you next week, guys. Bye.